Alright, we're finally gonna get to spraying today. It's a little breezy, but not terrible. In most of the places I want to go here right off the bat are sheltered in trees, so I don't think we're gonna be in too bad shape. I don't mind the block of wood on the drawbar. That's a cheap sacrificial part to test the theory to see if I want to make something out of steel or not. So, but anyhow, I'll tell you what, switching from one task to the next task is just, it takes way long. No matter what you do, it just seems to take way longer than it should. Like I thought this morning when I got out of bed, I had everything ready to go to spray, and then got over here and started looking around and seeing what I needed to do, and it's like, well, shit, not as ready as I thought I'd be. So you burn up half a day. Once you get through the first day, you just jump on and go. It's not a problem. That first day, no matter what it is, planting, spraying, harvest, no matter what it is, that first day is always a chore. So anyhow, I got enough stuff in the truck for 2 tanks. We'll just have to see how if I can. I'd like to get at least 1 tank out today, and if I get the second one out, that's a bonus. Well, it's just gonna depend on what all the wind does. But corn is getting Halex, atrazine, and Oculus, which that's a adjuvant and water conditioner. And on this first load, one of the fields I'm going to has got some ragweed in it that I really need to get smoked. So the first load anyhow is getting some Armazon in it to take care of that. So anyhow, nothing to it but to get loaded up. thought I had just enough Armazone. I was basically 1 ounce shy of a full tank load, which with everything else I got mixed in there, that 1 ounce over 20 acres ain't gonna make a bit of difference. But that stuff, man, it works awesome. But that little 32 ounce jug or whatever it is, seems like that's like $140 something for that little jug, or that little bottle. But that bottle, that 32 ounce bottle, will also spray, it's half an ounce an acre, so 30, basically it should spray 64 acres. So I mean, but you don't really need to use that unless you got something that really needs to get smoked. And I'd also like to, I'm talking because I want to let that mix for a while, but now that I got that thing and we're switching to putting on 28 rather than spreading urea on the corn for side dress, I almost need to build a second nurse tank, or at least get a second bulk tank to have set up just for water, and a second pump set up just for water. Because now, like, I got corn that I should probably be side dressing on the days when it's too windy, but then you got to empty all the water out of the tank and then put fertilizer in it, and then when you want to go back to spraying, then you got to pump fertilizer back in the bulk tank if you got room, and it's gonna turn into a mess if I have years where I'm trying to do both things at once. Which I'd like to be side dressing by next weekend is my plan, because I got some corn it needs to be side dressed. But I want to get, before I go to side dressing, I at least want to get all the corn sprayed and at least get a start on beans, because I got enough bean ground yet that doesn't need sprayed, that if I have to just start filling out of a garden hose because I got fertilizer in all the tanks, that's not that big of a deal. But I definitely need to get all the corn knocked out before we go to side dressing. So, but with favorable weather, I should be able to have damn near everything sprayed by the end of the week, as long as the wind cooperates. And I don't know if we got any rain forecast for this week or not, but anyhow, I gotta get the dogs wrangled up and get them back down to the house so they don't try to follow me, and see where Dad's gonna be at if I need him to bring me the truck and tank to refill. That's gonna be wind dependent, and go from there. So give me a minute and we'll catch you at the first field. Oh yeah, it's time to start side dressing. This stuff's getting kind of tall on me. I mean, we still got time yet, but I haven't been past this field in a while. Holy crap. And you can tell right where I forgot to turn the valve on going to the squeeze pump on the planter until right about the top of that little knoll right there. So this corn doesn't have any starter, but it's surprisingly kind of still dark green. I figured it'd be kind of yeller. But anyhow, as you can tell, definitely time to get to spraying. Well, I guess we're not gonna get after it. I think my pressure regulator took a shit, or is taking a shit, because I can't get it to hold 30 psi. If you screw it into the point where it'll hold 30, it jumps up to 40, and then you screw it back out a little bit and get it back down to 30, and then all of a sudden it drops down to 10. So there's something. So I'm gonna have to probably go get a new regulator, and hopefully that cures that problem. It ain't one thing, it's another. They wasn't doing it the other day with water in it, so I don't know what the heck the problem is, but it's a problem. All right, luckily the Rural King actually for once had something I needed, so I got a new regulator on there. This one works nice and smooth as silk, so we're good. That old Delavan regulator that was on there was on the sprayer when I bought it, so I have no reason to believe it's not an original circa 1966, because that's what year this sprayer is. So it survived, what, 62 years, something like that. So I guess you can't knock it too bad. But anyway, back to spraying. The next one. Honestly, I expected it to be a lot worse. So surprisingly, the ragweed spot is up here this time instead of down there. Normally it's down there, and this is fine. But anyhow, my plan for out here is obviously get it sprayed and then let it burn down and figure out around the edges where the kill stopped. Then I'm gonna throw the sprayer on my ATV and bring it over here and finish cooking everything around the outside that the sprayer can't get to. So, but we should be able to smoke it. That's why I put that arm zone in here on this first tank. I need to just start buying a bottle of that to have around, because I can stretch it over a year or so. Even if I don't need it on every field, I need to start buying a bottle to have, because it is handy. too bad. And surprisingly, the deer seem to be, I mean, there's a few spots where they've been pulling the whorls out, but the deer damage is fairly light compared to years past, and a hell of a lot better than last year when they mowed the beans off completely. So apparently my cousin hunting out here last fall kind of spooked him away or something. But I'm gonna try to get one more yet tonight, so pitter patter. Yeah, this field's done. It ain't half bad neither. Mostly just got some grass in it. I think that's actually wild carrot. There was a couple spots over there that were a little thick. Yeah, that's wild carrot. So I do think I'm liking how I planted it this way this year instead of this way. I think from now on it's going to get planted this way. It just makes everything a whole lot easier, including farming around that telephone pole. So I don't even know how much. I should have at least half a tank left in the sprayer, I think. Yeah, take over half. Trying to decide if I get Grandma and Grandpa sprayed or if I go check on hay, because I'd kind of like to know if I'm going to need a tedder on that field over at Shelly's mom's or not. Shoot. I think I probably ought to call her quits and go check hay is what I probably ought to do. That way, if I do have to hunt down a tedder, I can do that first thing in the morning. And if I don't have to hunt down a tedder, then first thing in the morning, hopefully, because tomorrow they're saying it's supposed to be windy, or at least they were. Is it still supposed to be? Come on, load up for me. Yeah, 10 to 20. But hopefully first thing in the morning we can jump on and catch a few more acres, because it's been calm in the mornings and it starts getting windy about sometime between 10 and noon depending on the day. So I don't know, I'll think on it on the way back to Mom and Dad's, and if I feel like it, because I should have enough to spray that. Screw it, we're gonna go over there, we're gonna spray Grandma and Grandpa's, get that one knocked out. Hey guys, remember all that corn that won't turn out worth a shit because I planted it too wet? And doesn't look too bad to me, other than needing sprayed. It's almost like I've grown up around here my entire life and been farming this ground for 15 years. I might have a little bit of an idea of what's socially acceptable to be able to get away with. Even the like 3 rows, whatever it was, I hung over into the wet hole that I couldn't get the soil finisher over, came up on both sides. And I don't know if any of my beans, they probably just sprouted with that rain the other day. I ought to be seeing some little beaners coming up here pretty quick, I would think. Oop, there was one. Sorry, guy, I didn't mean to rip you out of the ground. Just keep back doing your thing. Yep, there's another one. Oh yeah, we'll be seeing some beans here after a bit. Don't know if they'll amount to anything, because if we start getting any substantial rain again, this spot and that spot will both flood out, but it's the thought that counts. basically 40 acres knocked out, which is a lot more than I figured I'd get to, since by the time I got everything around this morning, got started the first time, realized that my regulator was bad, went to town, got a new regulator, came back, did all that crap. It was 2 o'clock basically before I even got rolling, and now it's basically 7:30. So not too bad. I will take it. So as of right now, my plan for tomorrow is to hopefully get a few more acres knocked out in the morning, and then we'll see where the hay's at. But with that being said, I'm not really going to end this video yet till I know, because if I'm going to do more spraying in the morning, I might as well put it into this. So we will catch you guys tomorrow morning to see what we're going to be doing. All right, we're going to walk up here on the hill where it's open, but I do believe that it is way too windy to be spraying today already. On the upside, we didn't get, I think it was windy most of the night, and we didn't get a dew, which is good for the hay. The new field probably would have raked and baled yesterday. It was dried down about perfect. The field at Shelly's mom's wasn't half bad. It was a lot drier than I figured it'd be, as heavy as the windrows were, or the, not windrows, but you know what I mean. Hell, I don't know, it don't feel that bad. The trees are moving a lot. But I also don't want to go ahead and get the sprayer filled up, and then, because the worst part is, I was looking at the weather, and it's supposed to be windy today, it's supposed to be windy tomorrow, it's supposed to be windy Tuesday. I think it's supposed to be windy Wednesday, and then I think it said, or I don't think we're supposed to have a calm day until Thursday. It's really not that bad down here on the ground though, if it's not windy on top of this hill. Screw it, we're gonna go try. Need to get some spraying knocked out. Alright, we'll get this 14 acres done, and by that point it'll be about time to go start thinking about raking hay. So tell you what, all the corn I've been over so far, there hadn't really been anything that looked too awful terrible, so that's good. Beans, we'll see. I haven't really looked at all that many bean fields. This is the one that the deer are tearing the hell out of, which I think there's going to be at least one more that the deer are tearing up, but I haven't went and looked at it because I'm scared to. So anyhow, 14 acres added to the tally. It didn't go too bad. I had to stop, I think 5 or 6 times to let the wind die down. But I never really caught any drift in the back or the face, so on a rig that small, open station, if you're not getting hit at some point by drift, that either means it's not drifting very much or the wind's pushing it to the ground, not at you. So, but with that being said, it is time to go start looking at getting some hay baled up, or raked up and baled up. So we're going to switch gears and move on to that. So, but that's going to be for a different video. So with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.